Hello everyone, PauloP13 here, and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a fun, probably a pretty long video, but it's going to be an important and helpful one. As in a few days, Black Bolt comes out, and many people will be getting Black Bolt. I will be one of those people, and I will be getting them at 6 stars, which is really awesome. So my whole Ultimus VII gameplay is going to change. So I wanted to get one final Ultimus VII video out before Black Bolts. Of course, if you guys are asking for it in the future, I will come back and I'll make some more Ultimus VII videos without them on occasional days when I can to try and get you guys some help on that. But for the most part, I will be using Black Bolt in the future. So this is who is the best Ultimus VII team to use without Black Bolt in the game. And I have done quite a few iterations of teams that I have suggested as the best option, or the one that I have found the best use out of. A lot of other people have, and I've gone through several teams and I've been like, I'm quite happy with this one. This one is a very easy to use team and it works well. This one you're very survivable. This one's a little quicker. But I've come to the conclusion on what I think is just the best mix of everything you could possibly want for Ultimus VII. And I'm going to introduce you to that team. Quick disclaimer. If you look back, you've seen me. You could have seen me use some of these characters in Ultimus VII before, and the team was a lot weaker then. And why is this a disclaimer? Well, this video is being recorded after the Red Star rework, and I have been using this team since before the Red Star rework. So this team now looks a lot bigger because, well, it is a lot bigger than what it was before the rework. Let's just say when I go through the individual characters on it, I will then tell you what abilities I have upgraded. You will see that. Which abilities you need upgraded, which means this one you don't actually need for this. It has another purpose, or it's just fun, or it'll help you elsewhere in the game. But for what I'm doing, you don't need it. And I will tell you how powerful the characters were when I was using them at the beginning. So that doesn't mean that's as low as they have to be at least that high. Some of them you could probably have been using lower, but I'm just going to try and break it down so it's as easy for you guys to understand as possible. So what is this great Ultimus VII team? I call it Symbiote-Tech, and I think it is by far the best option without Black Bolt in the game. So first off, we're going to go person by person. You can find my Shuri here. She is on the team. She would be essential. She is 78,000 power now, and you can see she is 7 stars, 4 red stars, gear tier 13, with a tier 14 piece, which I put on her. Apparently, I don't remember putting that on her, and I would not recommend putting that piece on her, unless you're building her for tier 14, which I wasn't. So, not sure what happened there. Anyways, carrying on, as you can see, I have her ultimate and her passive maxed out. Let's just take a quick read on this passive. You can see that her max passive gives her 20% extra max health, which is nice. But the main purpose why I did it was actually to speed up all Wakandan allies, which for this team isn't helpful because she already would give herself speed up. So you do get a bit of extra healing, but that is all you're going to get from this, and a bit of extra health. So you do not need that passive for this team. If you have it, bonus, but you don't need it. I used this ultimate. I think it's a pretty good one to have just in case you do need the healing. But you don't need the healing that many times in it, so you can get by without it. But I would suggest having this ultimate. So through Shuri, I would recommend the ultimate, but you don't need it. So you can kind of get by with none of those. I have her nice and built up because I really like the Wakandan team. They're fun, and they're just fun to use. And I've been using Shuri since she was like 58,000 on Ultimus VII, maybe even lower. She got a lot bigger in the last few days, so that's a lot of my power jump alone is just on the Shuri when they reworked the red stars, because 4 red stars used to be 20% increase and now it's 35%. So it's like getting another red star on her, and she's already so big that it just really shot her up. But again, you do not need your Shuri to be 80,000 power for this team to work. Now the next character is actually a character that didn't grow at all from the Red Star rework, but did grow because I got the character to the tier 14. Admittedly, I've had this character at 7775, level 75, tier 13 for ages. So tier 14 is the only growth, but it is Ultron. I would recommend all of these abilities on Ultron, even if it's not for Ultimus 7. Like, yeah, that damage boost is nice. I guess you don't need it all the time. Yeah, you definitely want this special. That's a huge one. This ultimate, the extra damage is pretty nice. Technically, you don't need it, but it'll speed things up. This passive, I would definitely recommend, but again, yeah, definitely get the passive. So passive and special are super essential. The others aren't technically essential, but it's Ultron. Get all those abilities maxed. Why would you not? So those are the first two characters. So you got a Shuri, and her main purpose on it is actually, let's just go back here and what her main purpose is this special right here, the defense up for 2 turns to everyone. And because she's so fast and she starts with speed up, or spawns with speed up, she definitely does get that available right away, which is amazing. So spawning with defense up for everyone, basically. And then the 2 ability energy for random allies. I don't find this passive overly worth it. Just 1 extra ability energy for a random Wakandan ally. I guess on this team, this special is not a bad choice because you do get the random Wakandan ally would be Shuri. So, you know, there's some benefits for that if you choose to do that as well. Don't bother with the basic. Carrying on now, let's scroll a bit down. This is another character that had a over 20,000 power growth since I started it, passing a lot of other characters I consider very good for Ultimus 7 but are not on this team. And we have Symbiote Spider-Man. I have been using him since he was like 40,000 power, and he was 3 stars and like 2 red, maybe even like 3 stars and no red. I would have been using him anyways. He got a massive jump in power because look, I got a 6 red star. He got up to 4 stars, so I got a 4th star and a 6th red star, so I got extra red stars, and I brought him to level 75. And I think I put 1 piece of gear and I maxed out all his abilities. The reason I maxed out all his abilities is because they're amazing, and I would recommend maxing out all his abilities just in general. But for this particular team and for its purpose, this basic is really nice because the 2 turns of defense down is amazing. So I would recommend that basic. This special, what you get is some extra damage and a bleed to each target. You don't actually need that. The most important part is the level 6 upgrade here, which is all negative effects durations will be prolonged, which is huge. So I'd recommend getting that to 6. I like the special going to 7 because extra damage and extra bleeds. It's nice. And then your bleeds do more damage, so it's just overall very nice. Now this ultimate here is, it's amazing. It's a lot of fun to use, and you use it a lot more on this than you would think because he's so fast. He gets this ultimate quite a bit. But it's a stun with a bunch of damage, then AoE damage, and then slows the entire team. I got it to level 7, which makes it slow as 2 turns, so that even gives you more of a turn meter advantage. But you really don't need the 2 turns of slows that often. Again, you can also like extend it on primary and adjacent targets with his special. So, you know, I don't think you need it. So you can probably get by with the basic for now. But again, overall, you're going to want it eventually because he's a great character. Now, this one I would definitely suggest getting, and that is the level 5 passive. But this passive is amazing. Anyways, you want this. You just want this passive in general. But extra 20% max health for him and all Hero Spider-Verse and Symbiote allies, because the whole Symbiote Spider-Verse team is amazing in raids and in Dark Dimension and just Blitz, and is also one of the best counters for Asgardians in War. So, you know, it's really great. But in this, the extra 20% health really helps because the amount of healing that the symbiotes do for themselves. Can I even move this? There you go. But you can just see 30% max health, 15% dodge chance, 100% drain. Like this is amazing for him and the other symbiotes that you will find. So yeah, he is tier 11. I would say you can do this with a much smaller symbiote Spidey. Whatever you have, just build them up however high you can with what resources you do have. Start with the basic and the passive on T4s and move your way from there. If you can't even get the passive, do that later. Can't get the basic, do it later. Just get him up. He's going to be a huge part of this team and a lot of future teams, and I'm going to be using him even once I get Black Bolt. Okay, so I skip down here. 2 more characters. We have Hela there, which is Hela's a nice character you could use. We've got Yo-Yo here. Yo-Yo is another character that had a bit of a jump. I've been using her since she was two yellow stars, no red stars on Ultimus VII, and she has never taken a day off. She has taken a couple nodes off once in a while to try out different teams. But yeah, so you can definitely use her at like level 60, tier 9, 2 yellow stars, 6664. But I like her so much, I brought her to 70. She's now 3 red stars, tier 13, 7664. Now this basic here provides 0 value for this team right now. I just upgraded this basic in preparation for Black Bolt because I will be using this basic when I have Black Bolt. So build her up as much as you can. The main point of her is the passive, which I don't have upgraded, but you can definitely upgrade it, and it's worth it. You're going to get extra focus per Inhuman ally, which you don't have any Inhuman allies on this team, so it's not really worth it for this team, but the extra dodge chance is nice. But applying offense down to every opponent on their turn is great. So now let's see, who is my final character? I know who my final character is, but where'd they go? Carnage. Here we go. This is my final character. He is level 70. Okay, he's higher level than I thought. I think I just upgraded him a bit. Tier 9, 7 stars, 4 red, 6675 abilities. I would highly recommend on this passive for pretty much every game mode. It really speeds your team up a lot, and it's the main reason why this team is, well, one of the main reasons why this team is an Asgardian counter in war, which I will probably make a video on in the future. But anyways, yeah, it's amazing. You want that, and I did the ultimate because, well, I liked the extra damage and I like this ability, but you don't need the ultimate. So you can get by with just the passive. So overall, the team is Yo-Yo, Ultron, Shuri, Symbiote Spider-Man, and Carnage. How does this work, roughly speaking, and why do I like this team so much? Well, you start off, you give yourself defense up with Shuri's special. Then, whatever person takes a turn, Yo-Yo will instantly give, on the other team, Yo-Yo will give offense down. So they're hitting into defense up while offense down. Plus, when because of Symbiote Spider-Man's passive, which go back to him real quick, wherever he may be, he's up, I know that. Whatever, let's read this. When a negative effect is applied to enemy, heal self and all Hero Spider-Verse and Symbiote allies for 3% of this character's max health. So every time that Yo-Yo puts an offense down, so basically every time an opponent takes a turn, he's healing himself and Carnage up, which is amazing. That's tons of extra healing. Plus, whenever he does a turn, he's healing himself with all the damage he does and all the debuffs that he applies, and same with Carnage. So if Carnage does a 50,000 power, 50,000 damage ability, he gets 50,000 health added to him, and whatever debuffs he applied will be healing both him and Symbiote Spidey, and same for Symbiote Spidey with him and Carnage. So Yo-Yo is constantly healing them as well, which is amazing. Also, Shuri's basic will heal up the symbiote allies. So these symbiotes are going to be healing a ton, which is amazing. You got the stun, but let's carry on with just that. So you get the healing idea with all the negative effects and how hard it is to take damage. But you've got the basic here from Symbiote Spider-Man, which is going to apply defense down to a bunch of people who you can control. Then you have Carnage, who his basic will spread negative effects. So you attack someone, you get a defense down. Then with Carnage, you do the basic on the same person, and you can spread that negative effect, which not only heals, but now you're slowly spreading that defense down to the whole team. Then now you have a Symbiote Spider-Man ultimate, which will stun people, and you can use his special to extend that stun and all the bleeds and all the defense downs, which you can then extend with Carnage. And then if you've got someone that's kind of low on health, but you will take a few attacks to kill, but has a ton of bleeds, and you need to speed that up, you can use Carnage's ultimate, which gets extra damage per negative effect because there's tons of negative effects in play, and just kill the person easily with Carnage. So you're getting a bunch of added speed and an added turn meter from these symbiotes because Carnage, whenever someone drops below a certain health, will give turn meter to both him and Symbiote Spidey and heal them again, so there's even more healing. So they're going to be going a lot. You're going to get a lot of negative effects. You're going to be doing extra damage. You're not going to be taking as much damage, Yo-Yo, of course, can do a decent damage, not massive, and hits a lot of targets, which is nice. She's also very fast. My whole team is very fast. The slowest character by far is Ultron, but Ultron has all the minions and has a massive ult and is the only one with a buff clear, which is the biggest issue for this team. Now, if you somehow are running low on health on a character, you do have Shuri's ultimate as a last resort, but you barely need it between all of the symbiotes healing themselves, the lack of damage coming in, the fact that Shuri heals someone every single turn no matter what, and the Ultron minion healing people. Shuri's ultimate will only come into play every once in a while. Why is this the best team I've seen? Well, first off, every character is really working well together. You can control who gets the debuffs. Now let's talk about one character everyone really likes using on this. It is Scientist Supreme. Scientist Supreme has one benefit over this team and a lot of negatives versus this team. Scientist Supreme can revive people. She also does apply more debuffs in one turn than anyone else. However, she only really does debuffs worth it on her ultimate. Her ultimate will then give debuffs to your own team. So for one turn, your team is at less capacity of doing things than they normally are. If you give yourself defense down, you can put yourself in jeopardy. This team does not have anything that will put yourself in jeopardy. You're not giving yourself any negative effects at any point. And yes, Scientist Supreme does flip them, but you have to wait until her next turn. So if you give yourself defense down and something goes wrong, you can lose your Scientist Supreme and it will never get flipped. So with this team, you don't need any revives, so that revive isn't really necessary. And you may not, if you use Scientist Supreme's ult, you may not get the defense down on who you want to get the defense down. You are going to be getting the offense down anyway, so you don't need that. And you don't want to give yourself defense down and offense down, because that's just hurting you. So in this situation, you can get the defense downs on who you need the defense downs on. You're getting the offense downs anyways, and you have defense up without giving yourself defense down. You're keeping yourself more protected and actually picking who gets the debuffs. There's a lot more benefit for it without Scientist Supreme than with it. Also, the symbiotes just do a ton more damage. So Symbiote Spider-Man is a better choice than Scientist Supreme. Also, the big thing is you can flip your debuffs and you have one turn of yourself with offense up versus them with defense down. You have almost every turn with your team having offense up and them having defense down if you use it this way, because the Ultron summons will give your team offense up with their specials, and you're giving them defense down on who you want. So it's not just every 4 turns you have one really good turn. You have a lot of really good turns. So that is why I think this is the best possible team you can use. And you are about to see me do a massive run with this team going from the beginning to the end on Ultimus VII. And I hope you enjoy it. Make sure if you like this or you want to see something similar, leave a like or subscribe. And share this video, and let me know down in the comments or in the video description. You'll find a link to my Discord about let me know what you want to see next. Anyways, yeah. So let's get into that after a quick note about a giveaway. Hey there, sorry about the interruption here. I just wanted to give you a quick announcement so you guys are aware. On May 1st, I will be announcing the winner of a giveaway for $50. If you need more information on that, you can check out a video and that I am making, and that video is actually the way to enter the giveaway. So look on my channel through the recent videos, and you'll find a video called $50 giveaway incoming, or something really close to that. Ideally, it'll be called exactly that. So you're going to go click that video, scroll down to the comments, and leave any comment. Try and make it funny, because I like funny comments. And I will go through all of those comments, put them in a spreadsheet, random number generate, and it'll be a random winner, which I will be announcing and finding and getting in contact with on May 1st, your chance to win $50. And yeah, so just thought I'd give you that information, and let's get back to this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you can. All right, let's get back to this. All right, so here is some recorded footage of me using the team. I'm going to have a bunch of the recorded footage. I'm going to try and put it together to edit it all nice so that all the runs are nodes that haven't been attacked before, because I do have a great alliance and some really good lane mates that have been hitting some nodes before I could get them and record them. So I'm going to try and edit around that to get complete nodes which are just 100% me from beginning to end, and kind of put together a run like that. This video on its own actually has a lot of glitches that I'm using as footage, so I'm going to have to record this one from beginning to end, and then I'll go in and record some segments of others and patch it together and make it nice and clear for you. But yes, Ultimus VII with my Symbiote-Tech team, which I consider the best team in Ultimus VII without Black Bolt. So we start off here with Slap, and you can see no one else has attacked the node. And this is my team. So first off, you can see that it was 311,000 power. But just so you guys are aware, I have been doing this with this team since 260,000 power. This was before the Red Star rework. So, well, now this video is after it, but I've been using it since before the Red Star rework, where a lot of my characters got massive buffs. And also I've been investing, I got another star on my Symbiote Spidey. I got a big Red Star drop on him and leveled him up to 75. So he alone has a 20,000 power growth. But again, you do not need a team to be 311,000 power to do what I'm doing. 260,000 should be plenty fine, as it was for me. Maybe a bit lower. Hard to say because I've never tried it with the team lower, because this is the team that I had. Now, just some quick things. I do have every single T4 in Ultron and Symbiote Spidey. Now, I would say you probably need all the Ultron ones. Maybe the basic can be foregone, but Ultron is definitely a huge part of this team. Symbiote Spidey there, you do not need all of his. I like all of his. I would say his basic would be a huge one, and probably his passive. I do have two on Carnage, 1 or 2 on Carnage as well. But the passive would be a good one to get. And on Shuri, I do have the alt and the passive, but for this team, you only need the alt. And Yo-Yo, I have the basic, which does literally nothing for this team. It is entirely in preparation for when I get Black Bolt. So therefore, to get it to this point, you do need some T4s, but you don't need as many as I has put in this team. So let's go on with this first node. I'm sure you guys are all aware this first node should be plenty easy. But you're going to start off with the defense up with Shuri, which is one of the greatest things about her. And Yo-Yo as a combination is getting defense up, right, and Yo-Yo offense downs everyone on the other team. Carnage alt into that Miss Marvel. There we go. So you can already see that this team is does a fair amount of damage and has some good survivability. Because you're getting heals on everyone naturally except, well, actually, Shuri's going to heal every turn a bit. Symbiote, Spidey, and Carnage are going to heal themselves up, like each other up, consistently. And Yo-Yo, every single time an opponent takes a turn, she gives offense down to the opponents, which in turn will heal up your Symbiote, Spidey, and your Carnage. And you're going to get a ton of turn meter in your Symbiote, Spidey, and your Carnage. And they're also very fast naturally, and Yo-Yo is very fast, and Shuri's very fast, and Ultron gets sped up by its minions. So you're going really fast, taking a lot of turns. You have a lot of survivability. If you're in a good position, you're not taking much damage with the offense down and on the opponents and defense up for you. So really, you're just in a great situation here. And you get a fair amount of damage, and you can go through the nodes pretty quick. So it's a blend of two of the things that people most look for in these nodes. Something fast, which can do a lot of damage, so you can get through it, and something that is easy to survive, so you don't have to spend cores. On an average day, I take 7 nodes down with 10 energy, and I use 0 heals. And I consider that very successful, considering I don't have Black Bolt. And you can see I just kind of go through, and I'm taking turn after turn after turn. And yeah, you'll usually end off just trying to preserve your abilities for the next round. And there you go, you fly through that first node without any issues whatsoever. All right, so there you go. You get your resources, and you take a look. And no one attacked this node yet either, so I'm on a good run of nodes that are fresh for me. And there we go. I'm going in to attack it. Green Mile's the second node here, and you kind of go with the same thing here. You get that big ult from Carnage, and admittedly, I'm still experimenting to see who the best people to target are to keep things as efficient as possible. One thing I do say on Ultimus VII is I never stop experimenting, which is how I've gone through like 3-4 iterations of best teams or teams that I've used, because I like it, but until I get a team that I can one-shot every single node and go to the end, I will not be satisfied with anything being the perfect team. So I keep trying to learn more and more. And every time I think I make like a little improvement here, a little improvement there, and it just gets a lot better. Unfortunately, I didn't take that Miles out like I would have hoped, so I should go to the Venom here and use that basic to spread it. But you can even see that I'm taking a bit of time with some of my ability choices because I'm still thinking it through. I like using my Symbiote Spidey alt to stun people when possible, but I also occasionally use it just to extend the special for extending debuffs or just dealing a bunch of damage. And also the alt does some nice damage to everyone, and the slow is really nice. So there's a lot of utility for it. The one ability I do say you should watch out for is the Carnage special. If you're not going to kill someone with it, it's not always the best idea to use because it does get rid of all those debuffs. And if you use it on the wrong character, you can actually get yourself in a bit of trouble. But you can see here, everything is going pretty smoothly. Took a bit of damage on my Ultron, but it's completely fine. I barely ever use Shuri's heal. I only use it in a couple of situations when I need to, which really shows how survivable this team is. Because if you get in more trouble, you can definitely use more heals. I tend to have a heal ready, in other words. Then I just use that basic. And there I have the heal, and I'm actually going to use it. And it barely tops anyone off, but might as well get the top off on that Ultron. So now I'm going to take down that Green Goblin because he can be kind of annoying. And now I just spread the slow around to get extra damage. I think I used this special here to extend that stun and to do a bunch of damage and get some bleeds, which is really nice. And you can see it did a ton of damage. And I'm just plowing through this node without too much thought. I'm not going overly quick. I appear to be taking my time. I do know that in the runs that I have recorded, I made several mistakes. This one, I was receiving some important texts while recording. So I was recording and like the fight and going through it, but I was also reading text and responding. So there's occasional times where I'm just not doing anything, but that's because I'm just reading. Some of the other footage you might see might be from a live stream, which was a very big and important live stream. So I wasn't actually paying much attention to my fights. I was paying more attention to the chat and talking with everyone. I will probably mute that, and just give you a good overview of what's happening, but it'll show you how good this team really does. Here I can just go through, take this Green Goblin down with a basic if I want, but I might use the ultimate on Hand Sorceress, which I do, to kill Hand Sorceress even quicker, and get the summon ready with the ability energy. So that Green Goblin is basically dead, so I can easily target Nobu here. Let's see, what do? I just kill Green Goblin, of course. So again, not always the most efficient, but it works all the same, and Nobu dies without taking the turn there anyways. And that offense down on Miles works great because, well, look, take a look. My whole team is basically full health anyways, even though we got hit by it, because he's offense down for that ult, and I believe most of my people had defense up. So I'm going to use the basic here, and you can see I'm not going to be ready to use my Ultron ult. So I didn't really plan my abilities out the best in this one, but it worked, and I got this node down. And I should be able to get into the first mini boss node of Backstreet Brawlers, and I did it before anyone else was able to join, which is good. Or join this lane and attack it basically. So as you can see, I don't have all my moves. I didn't even realize that the fight had started for 10 seconds there, which is always a bit of an issue. But anyways, there you go. I'm attacking straight into Venom. Normally I would do Carnage. Here I probably use the stun on Luke Cage, which just gets rid of which means I won't get any defense up for a while. Plus he's slowed, which is really nice. And the rest of the team is slow, so you really have a turn meter advantage in this fight. And if you take more turns than your opponents, you probably have a good chance of getting a good advantageous position here. So I use the special from Yo-Yo. I basically use whatever of her abilities are on cooldown, and it works quite well. Here I probably do the ult on Venom. Yeah, I figured that because I saw myself clicking there, so I wasn't entirely sure my plan. I'm just going to throw the defense down on both of them. So both Carnage and Venom are pretty much dead. They're the biggest threats. I used to go for Iron Fist a little quicker, but I don't really need to anymore. The reason I did that was his animations are so slow, so I just wanted him gone. So I didn't have to deal with those animations causing me to time out. But I don't have any issues timing out on this node, even when I'm paying as little attention as I am now. See, there I kill Carnage, but I probably did not need to. And my Symbiote Spidey is already back to full health after taking that Iron Fist ultimate. Here I should probably be focusing on taking down that Punisher as quickly as possible, but I go straight at Iron Fist, who is probably going to basic this next turn, so I don't know what I was doing. I did get the defense down on the Punisher, which is nice. So there's some silver lining to that. I'll probably use this special here to keep those defense downs and just do some damage to as many people as possible. So I've been through 2 minutes and I've only killed 3 people. Make that 4. I haven't exactly been flying through this. I'm taking my time. I'm thinking it through. And currently I'm playing with the actual touchpad on the laptop, so that's even slower. I guess I was doing it just to make sure so you guys could see my thought process a little bit, I guess was what I was thinking, or I just really wasn't paying attention. Because I do that sometimes for like blitz or challenges. But I don't usually do it for Ultimus VII because it takes longer. This is a touchscreen computer, if you guys are wondering, so I tend to do that. There we go. So now I'm going to spread some defense downs. And I'm apparently focusing on the Spider-Man, and I'm leaving the Carnages alone, which is not the greatest plan, but I do stun the Carnage there, which is nice. I could probably rewind his turn meter, but I rewind Iron Fist. Here, I'm not really focusing anyone down. I'm just kind of throwing attacks out randomly. I definitely did not put myself in the best of positions with the way I was going about that. So you might want to, pick a target and actually stick with a plan, but I didn't, and it was fine. So it does show you that even if you're not being, let's say, the most efficient with what you're doing, you're probably going to make it out fine. You're going to probably beat the node, and you're going to probably take it down in one shot. Here I've got 8 people left with 1.5 minutes. So you can see that this team, if you want to start like running low on time, you can definitely speed through it. Here I should be able to take down that Venom with 1 hit. There we go. I'm down to 6. I've killed, 2 people in 10 seconds. So there we go, getting the defense downs out. That should be enough to get me an easy kill here with the yo-yo, but it doesn't hit any of the character I need to be hit. So I'm just going to spread that defense down back out and just do some damage, basically. Here I can just finish off my plan was to finish off the Iron Fist, but apparently it didn't work. Use that Symbiote Spidey special, which, there we go. Now it's I've got 3 characters left with 52 seconds, so it's been 40 seconds and I killed like 5. Now here I'm pretty much just in I can basic it out mode, which is what I believe I do. It's definitely the right choice. If I ult at any point here with my Ultron, that's not the greatest. Here you can see I do have my full abilities, which is nice. I'm in a good position. I basically need to kill Luke Cage or wait for that Miles to do his ability. Again, I'm not even rushing through my ability choice with my team. Now I'm getting a little, okay, wait, I've got very little time left. But yeah, that was a very poorly run fight, and I was able to one-shot the first mini-boss, and my whole team comes out at full health, and I believe with full abilities cooled down. So you can see Symbiote-Tech is really doing its job. Again, I know this is a strong team, but I've been doing this for a while, and I think I've kind of gotten a little comfortable with it, and that's why I'm not being the most efficient with my ability usage. And here we go. That's great. It looks like the recording froze here. Oh, that's great. Yep. So it appears that the footage crashed there. All right. Okay, so due to the crashing of the last video and it not recording the final 4 nodes like I was expecting it to, 4 nodes? Yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to piece together the rest of it with other runs through, and unfortunately in this one I was paying so little attention to what I was doing, I didn't even record it in full screen, so I do apologize for that. But I do believe this to be the best area to get footage for this one. Instead of going to my live stream and trying to navigate that might be even more difficult to follow. So let's just get into it and see how this works and how this looks. Here we go. So you can see it's the same team. It is an unhit node. It is street sweepers. They're all at full health. So I'm able to, kind of go into it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get full clean nodes finished beginning to end in this video for every node because the footage that I had crashed and just won't work, which is very unfortunate. But here I go. That Symbiote Spidey can use that stun. So right now I would talk a bit about Symbiote Spidey versus Scientist Supreme and why I chose this specific team. But Oh, look, I'm in full screen now. That's good. That's really good. But I believe I'll probably do that at the beginning of the video. I'll do a little bit of overview of everyone, just discussing why this team in particular and what my thoughts were. But anyways, you can see I'm going through this node without much issue here. Kind of throw that heal block just to do some damage because I didn't need anything else from that Shuri. If it wasn't for the fact that Shuri is like the best character at getting a fast defense up in the entire game, I don't even know if I would need Shuri as a healer very often. And I would try a Venom, but then you don't get the defense up on everyone, which is especially the yo-yo, so you can leave your yo-yo vulnerable to being healed instantly. So for me, that's the main reason I use the Shuri instead of Venom. But anyways, you can see I'm going through here. Got that basic, kind of spread the defense downs. Yeah, and it's looking pretty fine. I'm not in the best of positions. I don't have as many summons as I would like. I'm going a bit slow, but it should be plenty fine to get the node down. There we go. I do take down that. And here we go. I'm just trying to spread defense downs where I can. Here I finally start summoning. I've got 3 minutes left and I only have 6 people to kill. So ideally I would be smart and I would be good with my abilities and not waste them, and I don't need to here. Here I'll probably use an Ultron ult to take out that Iron Fist, which is nice, saves me a bunch of time, and also gets me my ability energy back quicker. But I really don't need to be using many more big abilities. So we'll see if I did that or not. And this node, it's pretty easy from here. I take the Carnage ult with my Carnage, so he should be fine because Symbiote-Spidey even goes before him. So he's going to heal up that damage right there. If you can see all the debuffs that are spread or hit, dude has a whole lot of healing, which is nice. There you go. I didn't even bother using the Shuri defense up or anything like that. I can use the special here just to do a bunch of damage and get some bleeds out there, which heals up my symbiotes again. And there you look at, like, just tons of healing going around, tons of survivability. And you really don't have to be perfect with your strategy. And there I used an Ultron ult, really proving you don't have to be perfect with your strategy, because there was no need for me to use that ult. I could have easily finished it, and I'm probably not going to have my ult in a good position to use this next node because of that. So we'll keep an eye on that. So again, bad strategy, but it works fine. And Carnage finishes the job, so I probably finished it even too quick to get my abilities back. But as you can see, my team is basically on full everything. So yeah, there's not too much strategy involved in this team. In many situations, it's a lot of just keeping your abilities refreshed as much as possible when starting nodes, being ready to go, kind of planning out your turn meter and your heals and your debuffs. Look at this. Took 15 seconds before me to even realize that the node had started. Waste a bunch of time here. Now I remember this one. I did not do a great run at this node because I was so, let's just say, mentally preoccupied during this run. I didn't use my Ultron ult at a great time. And here I'm not going to go about dealing with it in the best way. So the ideal strategy here, which I've come to realize, is pick one of those mercenary riot guards right at the beginning and stun one of them with the Symbiote-Spidey ult, which will then mean only one of them will taunt. What you can then do is use an Ultron basic, and you're past the taunt and you can focus down the people you want to focus down. But here I didn't do that, so I'm probably going to be doing literally nothing on this node for quite a while. Here I even used the ultimate, so I still have that taunt there. And yeah, I'm just stuck in taunts. And it's been 1 minute and 15 seconds. Probably take me 2 minutes to actually start making any progress on this node, which is one of the most annoying things. So if you can get those, it wasn't for the 2 taunts, you would be through this node instantly. Which is why someone like if there wasn't so much initial damage, someone like a Hela would be great, because you could use the Symbiote-Spidey stun on one of the mercenary riot guards, and you can use the Hela special on another one of them, and you have no taunts to worry about, and you can get through that Punisher and the Trooper right away. But that defense up is still really helpful for this team. There we go. I'm finally through the taunts. with exactly 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go. I have killed no one in over 2 minutes. It takes me quite a while to do anything on this node, but I'm surviving. And I do use a Shuri heal here, so there is some use to that heal. I'm going to try and spread that defense down to the shield trooper, and it goes the wrong direction. Probably going to use the special there just to get some damage on everyone, get rid of that speed up. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take down that trooper, then I'm going to probably move on to Punisher here is what I'm thinking. There we go, I finally killed a character. Halfway into the node, I've killed one character. There's 13 left, now there's 12 left. But you can see at this point, it starts speeding up quite a bit. So I've killed 2 characters in almost 3 minutes. But at the end of it, there won't be like 9 characters left. I start moving much quicker here. I do the defense up, trying to get some good energy here. I believe I should finish off the Punisher. What am I going to do here? I'm going to spend 5-10 seconds doing nothing. Okay, that seems like a good strategy. Okay, I get the defense down on the War Machine, which is not a bad decision at all. Probably throw the ult there too, because you don't want that War Machine to get a second turn off. The first turns of the rockets are a bit problematic, but you can't really prevent both of them from getting the first turn unless you have a stun saved up from Symbiote Spidey. Then the stun and the slows can definitely help. But here, you don't want the third turn from the rockets or the big issue, and the second turn from the War Machine, so that's why I focus the War Machine first. There we go, down to 1 rocket, so we're only going to take 1 rocket special here, which is going to be offense down. I didn't have a defense up, but it still didn't even get my Carnage below 50% health, which is great. And also my Yo-Yo had an evade, so I was pretty much safe. The worst damage would have been if he picked like a summon, which would have just killed the summon. And there we go. I'm down 6 enemies left with 1 minute to go. I think I can get... If I did this really quickly starting now, I might even be able to take this down. But I played it a little more cautious and planned it out. Still getting a hang of it, and it kind of slows you down when you're not 100% familiar with the best strategy to use. But as you can see, there we go. I'm going to use this basic to try and get some defense downs, which I don't think was my best strategy there, but it's what I did. And I use another Ultron ult with no purpose whatsoever. I am wasting Ultron ults and energy like you wouldn't imagine. Like I said, the best plan here is to just be ready for the next node or the next attack and save your energy when you can. So of course I just instantly waste a good ability. So now I'm going quick, not because I think it's going to make a massive difference, because I've been playing this node very slowly anyways, but I'm just trying to get another Ultron turn in, because I'm like, wait, why would I do that? And I obviously don't get it, but I end the node with 4 people left, so I killed like 9 people in a very short period of time, I think. So then I can go back in, and you can see my team's at full health. I did not record the Carnage ultimate or the Shuri defense up, because I forgot to hit the record button at that point. But anyways, that's all I did before that point. So you can see here, I am not really putting a lot of high value abilities into this node anymore. I'm just doing literal cleanup. So if you have a cleanup person in your lane, they can handle this, or pretty much it's not much that you really need to worry about. You can throw pretty much any team out there at this point. I'm basically basicking the rest of this node. So that's kind of where I'm at, nothing too serious. And then this 5th node, run and gun, will be down, which is one of the more annoying nodes in the entire run, if you ask me. Unfortunately, I am realizing I did record the Gonna Fly Now, which is the 7th node in my lane, in a way where I only use the Symbiote-Tech team. However, that was on the video that crashed, perhaps. We will see. If you guys see it and there is the Symbiote-Tech team doing 2 hits on it, then that's awesome, and I managed to get it recorded. If not, I am terribly sorry about that. But after this node, it should be the mini boss, the 2nd mini boss, and you can see I'm just basicking this out, so there's not really much strategy to talk about here. There we go. Node is down. Everyone's at full health, and if I don't have my abilities cooled down now, I don't know what I did. So there we go. That is the 5th node down, And that is the end of that footage. So I probably do have the might be able to find you a 2 attempts with this or with full Symbiote-Tech finish to this run. So let me go find those videos and we'll carry on from there. Okay, so unfortunately I don't have footage of the 6th node anymore, where it was a clean beginning to end, as that footage has disappeared with the video crash, and the video's gone, so I can't do anything to get the rest of it, which is really unfortunate. But I do have this one. As you can see, it's 5,516 out of 5,722, so not a lot has been done to the node, but it is true. It is not a full beginning to end finish. If you guys really want to see one of those, you can let me know and I can record one after this video comes out and just release From Street to Space full Symbiote-Tech for you guys. Okay, so let's get into it anyways. You can see here it is still the same team, and they're actually at a worse position than I left them in the last bit that you saw, that I believe. Yeah, the last bit of recording that I had, I left them at a better point than this, so we'll see how the abilities are. Because my health is a little lower at this point, so wasn't as good of a run up to this point. And there you go, you can see I don't have it as good ability point wise because I don't have the Symbiote Spidey stun saved. And yeah, you can actually tell that the fact that this wasn't a clean run, like beginning to end, made it a little harder because I did take the rocket ult right away, which I wasn't expecting, so I took more damage than I normally would. There, I should use the basic on Drax to spread it to the rocket, or try to at least, but I didn't. So I'm not using great strategy, and you can tell during this fight, the game was lagging like crazy. So anything I'm doing is a lot slower than it should be. Yeah, it's really lagging, which makes it a lot harder to finish a node on time. I have one-shot this a few times, but I will not say that's consistent. That's why I hold to the fact that my average run with this team is 7 nodes in 10 energy, no heals. I plan on 2-shotting run and gun, this node, whatever it's called, and gonna fly now. So the last 3 nodes I do consider 2-shot nodes with this team, but 10 energy, 7 nodes, no heals. But yeah, you can see I'm going through this one quicker than run and gun, the beginning of it, which is the last node you guys would have seen. And here I use a stun on Gamora for, I'm sure I had a reason in my mind at the time, but I don't seem to have it with me anymore, so don't do that. There's no real reason to have Gamora stunned at that point in this fight. So that was a bit of a waste of a really high value ability, but I'm going to start putting some debuffs on this Star-Lord. I want him down as soon as possible. He is the priority because he just makes things miserable. Yeah, I'm lagging a lot. I'm not really making too much progress, and I'm not using the best strategy here, but the team is holding up anyways. It is a team that if you get set up and you do the first bit, you can put on auto until there's about a minute and a half left, and they will be fine on auto. The only reason that I would take them off auto is so that you can get your abilities back so they don't waste them at the end of the fight. That would be the worst thing, like 10 seconds before the end of the fight, your Ultron summons, and then you don't have a summon ready for your next go. So you do want to be a little cautious with that. Here I use the basic because it's going to spread the defense down for sure into the people next to him, and I believed, and I was hoping it would hit Miles, which it did. So there we go. I'm starting to actually make a bit better of a strategy push on this node, like planning it out a bit better, but I never seem to have my abilities that I'm hoping to have ready. So I think my whole ability order is just a little off on this run, but it's plenty fine enough for me to be surviving and making progress on the node. And apparently I take down the Gamora here. I should go for the Spidey here. Do I? Yes, I do. Get rid of the evade at least. Now let's see what my plan is. I should be focusing on that Loki. And I do start focusing on the Loki. Let's see, do I stun him? That's a much better use of a stun. Loki's a nice character to have stunned. So that's nice. And what do I use the ultimate on? I use it on Gamora? Oh, wow. Don't do that. So you can see I've done a few really meaningless mistakes on this node, which really should come back and hurt you, but They really just don't seem to when you use this team. That's one of the things I like about this team the most over the last couple teams I've used. If you make a mistake on this team, it slows you down. It could waste your abilities. If you make a mistake with the other teams that I've used in the past, you can get your entire team killed. So huge, I'd say this is a boost. And I use the Carnage special and I don't get a kill there. You can see just nothing's going overly well here. Now that Drax has dropped down, so I got to get rid of that taunt. Going to try and get a bit of damage into the Loki before the node ends. Could use the ultimate to just make sure he dies, but I don't. My whole team is in pretty fine shape here. So I'm going to just throw that basic. Does not manage to get the kill. Should use the special here. So I get some damage where I can with while the people have defense down. So I've taken a bit of damage with some of my characters here. And I actually let Black Panther take his ult. So that was a really ugly run. And I have some people in lower health here. But it really doesn't matter because I go right back into this node. I don't heal anyone. As you can see, I still start with some people in low health. Shuri instantly heals the lowest health ally as she takes the first turn. Just a bit, but it's enough. Then I'm going to have that Carnage ult ready, which heals both the symbiotes. And Carnage is up in pretty good health now. Now it's Symbiote Spidey's turn, and he's already pretty high in green from the damage he deals and the debuffs he is applying. So I'm already in a perfectly fine state of health. So now Ultron's got a summon going, and I am in the clear. I don't want to summon again. Do I summon again when I did this node? With what I've seen and the strategies I've been deploying, employing, applying, whatever the word is, maybe because I've not been doing this well. I used that heal there. I really didn't need to, but I figured, well, I might as well use a heal eventually. So I did. Use the special there, get some bleeds and damage and spread some, or extend some debuffs. And yeah, you can still tell this is laggy, which does make it a lot harder to go fast because, well, there's a delay on pretty much every ability you do. At this point, you can't quite see things as well. It takes longer for things to register, which causes you time, so it makes it harder to one-shot nodes, and just you don't go as fast, and it can cause you a little extra anxiety even, which causes you to make less thought out decisions. Here I'm just gonna work on those Spidey people. That's the most important people to take down would be those. Then it's immediately Black Panther after them as the most important. But knowing me, I don't know. The way that I'm playing this, I wouldn't be surprised if I decide to go for the aim infector after I finish this Miles here. So we'll see what I do here. Should be fascinating. What on earth am I doing? I actually take the target off of Black Panther to target the aim infector. First, the wrong aim infector too. Wow. So I waste time making sure I target the wrong person. So there you go, guys. The key strategy, always attack the wrong person and waste time doing it. That's good. I'm glad I'm always teaching you guys the best lessons. But anyways, the most important part of this video isn't this is the best strategy to employ. This is the team that if you don't have Black Bolt, I think you guys should be working towards to using this. Right now, I do have 4 stars on my Symbiote Spidey, and I have 3 stars on my Yo-Yo. But I have been using this team since I had 3 stars on both Yo-Yo and Symbiote Spidey, and I've been using Yo-Yo since she had 2 stars and 2 yellow and no red stars. So really, you can be doing this team with recently unlocked characters if you build them up enough gear point-wise. Admittedly, Yo-Yo, Shuri, and Ultron are tier 13, but my Symbiote Spidey and my Carnage are definitely not tier 13. My Carnage is like level 60, tier 9 or 10, I'm pretty sure. You guys will see at the beginning of the video, but I'm recording that after this. So, yeah, you can see this team takes that down, no problem. Not the most efficient run here. Let's see. Do I go with the 2-parter here? Hopefully this is a 2-part Symbiote-Tech run. There we go. This is a 2-part Symbiote-Tech run on this node. Normally I use my X-Men first, just because why not? But I did want to make sure I got you guys full Symbiote-Tech run just to show you guys how it works. Because honestly, it actually works better than me using my X-Men, so probably should just do this from now on. There I stun the Hulk because I don't want his taunt coming right away. It's still pretty laggy, which is costing me a bit of time. Now, I don't know if it wasn't laggy. I got an ability block on my Ultron too, so with a bit of different RNG, maybe if they targeted Carnage and I don't get an ability block on my Ultron, I could possibly have one-shot this node. A bit of better RNG and less lag, but it's really hard to say, so I'm not going to advertise it as that. But yeah, here we go. So it's been a minute and I haven't really done too much, but I should be, now that the ability blocks have cleared, I'm in a much better position to start going. I get the Ultron summon in, takes a few seconds to load, and here we go. I'm starting to make my big push. I want to take that War Machine down before he does something dangerous, so I go there. But it doesn't actually finish the job, which I think I was a little surprised at. Now I should be working on that Green Goblin. Hopefully I use the... Nope, I used the special over there. I was going to say I should use the special on Green Goblin to... if I don't finish him, at least he's going to get two turns of debuffs. Anyways, there we go. Now I go back to working on the Green Goblin. Vision clears some buffs. I'm blind anyway, so I definitely should be summoning, because at least you get some value out of that move, let alone you probably should have been using the summon anyways. I used the Carnage special in a very good point there. It speeds it up and it does 112,000 damage, which is amazing. So yeah, now you get the defense up. I've got 2 minutes and 50 seconds left, and I've got 10 characters left. Spoiler, I'm not going to be able to one-shot this node in this go, whatever the reason may be. But yeah, it's definitely going to be fine. Now here's where it starts getting a little more on the particularly possibly challenging end in some situations. You have 2 Hulks down, and any second a Doctor Strange can drop down. So you don't want to get stuck behind those double taunts and then have all your buffs flipped and then have the Hulk smash on you. That used to be what happened if I would use my other team. Every 1 in like 5 tries, I would have that happen. Since I've started using this team, it has never happened, which is one of the main reasons why I vote for this team as the best no Black Bolt team in the game for Ultimus VII. So I use that yo-yo ult, I spread some damage, and there we go. I am in a good position. I get rid of that taunt, but it drops him below 50% health. So even on this one, I am not playing overly ideal. So I rewind that turn meter, and I'm just trying to like, uh-oh, I did bad. Now I need to control that Hulk's turn meter. So I'm going to go use the ult here, which I'm planning on spreading the bleeds, except I put him below the next health threshold, so he cleans all those off, which is great. So now I'm like, okay, let's get rid of this death proof and maybe have the bleed will kill him. Oh, the death proof stayed. So let's hit him again, and no, let's actually ultimate into the other Hulk. Oh wait, I'm offense down, so it did less damage than I was expecting. So now he's gonna taunt. Yes, this was a horrible set of strategies, and I'm really putting myself in as bad of a position as you can. So I use the special here from Yo-Yo to try and get a couple hits on the Hulk to clear that death proof, but I do not manage to do that, and I take an offense up ultimate from Hulk, and it puts both of my symbiotes in red health, which is the worst position I've been in this entire run. And this is the worst I've had this node go with this team. But alright, here we go. Let's clean it up. Let's get going a little quicker. I am nowhere near an ultimate or a special. 1 Hulk is gone. And now Doctor Strange drops down, so you don't want him flipping all of this, because that could be really deadly, especially while you still have a Hulk below 50% health. But you can see I'm already getting my symbiotes healed up pretty well, so I should be fine. But I do want to finish off that Doctor Strange, and I managed to get the ultimate there, which is great. So I think I go into Vision here, or try to finish off the Vision, which I do manage to have happen. I don't even need the heal at this point anymore, and it kind of lagged out, so I didn't get any more turns. But there we go. I took down 7 in the first 5-minute attack, and I'm doing pretty good. So I can just go right back in here and finish it off with my team. Really, I'm in a position at the end of this, or where I am now, where I could easily carry on, but I don't need to go for that 8th node right now, so I didn't, is the entire reason why I didn't go for it, was I didn't need to. So I saved the energy for the next run of Ultimus VII so I could get back there as quick as possible. For me, I like consistency as opposed to... I'd rather get 7 nodes in like 5 consecutive days than get 8 nodes, then 5 nodes, then 6 nodes, and 7 nodes. I like being consistent so everyone kind of knows what they have to do to be able to get where we need to go. So 7 nodes every day is enough for 60%. Definitely enough for 60%. So with this setup and this team, you are able to have a team strong enough to be ready for 60% on Ultimus VII. And now here we go. I get some debuffs on the Hulk, and then I bring him down below the threshold again. I really mess up anytime there's a Hulk around. Just assume whatever I'm doing to deal with the Hulk is the wrong choice, because you'll probably learn more from that than what I'm actually doing. Here I use that special, which is a pretty good move. Get some damage all around. I used the basic there for some splash damage. Was hoping to take Hulk down with just like some side damage, but I don't manage to do it. And I try again by doing the special, because if you do Carnage special on someone with debuffs, he does hit the adjacent targets with some splash damage. And that was basically my entire plan, was just kill the Hulk with some splash damage. And it didn't quite work because that little fleck of health is pretty big. Now you take the Green Goblin ult without anyone being ready for it, but you're still plenty fine. Yeah, you can see I'm not running this the best, and I kind of forgot about the Hulk, so I did not really do much to take him down. Now I'm like, okay, I really need to take him down, so I use the special, and he still doesn't go down. That is the Immortal Hulk, and he finally goes down, so it's just Vision versus my whole team here, and I'm not going the quickest, having a lot of lag and everything, but at the end of the day, I'm in basic only territory, so I'm pretty sure that's what I do. I think I just start hitting that basic button. Yeah, you can see the little click bubble around it. I'm just hitting basic, finishing it off, and that's all I really need to do. I don't really need the heal, and I know I'm not carrying on after this, so I could easily use my high value abilities, but I don't. So yeah, that pretty much is wrapping it up here, and that is my video on Symbiote-Tech. And why I think it is the best Ultimus VII team. If you don't have Black Bolt yet, I highly recommend it. There you go. You've seen me take down 7 nodes with 10 energy and use 0 heals, and I do that every single day. Now, I don't do it with perfect strategy either, which I think was a good thing that some of my videos or recordings were me playing really poorly, because it shows you do not need optimum strategy even for this, and if you do get more optimum strategy, you'll probably be more efficient and go even further. And like I did say earlier, you don't need your team to be as big as my team to be this successful. Obviously, the bigger the team, the more helpful, like the easier it is, but you can easily do this with a touch better gameplay with a team 50,000 power less, no problem. So yeah, there you go. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and share this video. Let me know down in the comments, or you can join my Discord. There's a link to my Discord in the video description. Let me know if there's anything like this you want to see, or any feedback you may have. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, as there's more videos coming your way. I do hope you enjoyed this and this was helpful. And as always, I'm here to help.